This is what you're trying to make a video consist of. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about how to start keto. I've seen a lot of things about like people that are confused about keto or don't know how to start keto and would like to start keto. So for me, I've always kept keto on a budget because I am not a millionaire and I don't have a lot of money. So for me, if this was going to work, I needed to be on a budget. What I mean by that is that, for example, right, you can have any kind of protein, right? So hamburger meat, and this is just how I do it. I know there's a whole bunch of keto people that do it their own way and it works for them. Cool. This is what's worked for me. And this is how I did it. So, for example, hamburger meat. A lot of people say that grass-fed is the best hamburger meat you can have. Well, at $7 to $9 the pound, that's a lot of money for hamburger meat. I rather just do a 5-pound regular hamburger meat and cook that. And I say 5 pounds because I have a big family. And I try to make it kid friendly. So whatever I'm going to eat, I try to make it so that my children are going to enjoy as well. So another thing is cheese, right? A lot of people go for these crazy expensive cheeses. I try to keep it simple. I'm most likely going to pronounce this wrong because I don't know how to say it. But the telemaku, it's called something like that. It starts with a T. That cheese is really good. It is a little pricey, so 2 pounds of cheese is like $10 at Walmart. I guess that's a little bad, but you know what, in the long run it's just so delicious. The kids love it, I love it, and it works for me. Another thing that I would say that you need to invest in, and I say invest because it's a little pricey, but it'll last you a long time depending on how much you like to bake, or how much you like to make fathead dough, or how much you like to bake cookies, or whatever it is that you're into that's keto friendly. I would say it's going to be almond flour. This is the brand that I use, and you can get it on Amazon. And another thing that I know a lot of people like to use monk fruit, stevia. There's a whole bunch of options out there. For me, the only one that I've really used, and monk fruit I only use when I go to like Starbucks or something like that. So the one that I use to bake, which I think personally, because it's the only one I've tried, I really enjoy it. Sorry, I had a crazy hair. Anywho, it's gonna be Anthony's erythritol. This one is my absolute favorite. So I recently made keto donuts, and I went ahead and used this one and cinnamon powder as the coating of the donuts, and whew, let me tell you, those were a big hit in my household, and I even shared with some coworkers and they liked it. So yeah, definitely a must-have. Like I said, I know there's other people that like to use other brands. I just prefer this one because it's the only one I've really used and it works for me. I also get it on Amazon. Another thing that I bought, because a lot of people were saying, like, you know, sometimes they like to have a sweet coffee or they can't do black coffee. For example, my husband. So I usually just go ahead and get them heavy cream. And I usually don't get like a fancy brand of that because I'm not going to pay a lot of money for something that is going to be used super fast. Like, no. And plus, the expensive one is like this small, and if you get the generic brand or whatever, it's a lot more for your buck. So that's what I do. So he'll use heavy cream in his coffee, and then he uses this stevia. And this one's not bad. I mean, I like it. I know a lot of people don't like it because it has like an aftertaste, but for me it works. I think it's fine. So sometimes we'll also add like sugar-free like syrups. For example, gosh, I forgot the name of the brand, but I'll show you guys maybe on another video some of the brands that you can, or I'll post it on Instagram, because I know I have a picture, so I'll post it on Instagram, and that's one of the brands that you can use. And there's a whole bunch of brands that you can use to make your coffee taste better, that are like sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free cinnamon dolce, anything like that that's sugar-free, you can add to your coffee to make it taste better if you're someone who likes to not drink black coffee and loves a sweet coffee. You can do that. Another thing that I have, because there's this recipe that I use to make cookies, and for that one there's you have to use beef gelatin powder, which I had no idea what that was, and I don't know, I don't know what it does to the cookies, but you have to add it. So the brand that I have is this one, and it works for me. I've had it for a long time actually. So I started, I hope it doesn't expire. Oh, I got time. 2021. So this one I've had for a year. So I started keto October 31st of 2018. From here to then, I've fallen off of keto maybe 3-4 times. I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know what, I've been keto this entire time. I haven't. In this year span, I've lost 44 pounds so far. I'm still working on it. As you can see, I still got weight to lose. So I'm getting there. Anywho, beef gelatin powder. This goes in the cookies. Super good. I can't taste it, so. Another must-have that I would say, like if you have a sweet tooth and you're just craving chocolate, you can also use these for fat bombs. And it's going to be Lily's baking chocolate chips. So these I add to the chocolate chip cookies, and I make fat bombs with these as well. These are just really good, and my kids like to eat them by themselves. So another must-have, I know there's a lot of people that don't like them, but I love them, especially with like Valentina, which is a hot sauce, or Tapatio, which is a hot sauce. It's gonna be these. So these cure my chip craving. At least for me. I know there's other chips out there that claim to be keto. Not that I'm a hardcore person, like keto police type person, but I do like to keep it as clean as I can, just because if you consume some of these other items, it'll make your weight loss like slower. And not that I want to lose weight quickly, but if I can speed up the process, why not? So I know there is some chips out there that claim to be keto and they're not. So I would suggest looking at ingredients. This is like all natural, just pork skin. So these are a go-to. These are a must-have. You just add a little bit of lemon and you add a little bit of Valentina. So delicious. I promise you. Or at least for me, because I enjoy them. I just found out that they also sell a pack. Woo, woo, woo. So you go and you buy your kids like those little Frito packs. Now you can buy yourself a pack. Boop, boop. So I've tried the original. I've never tried the barbecue or the salt and pepper, but I've heard that they're really good. So I'm going to go ahead and try these, and then I'll let you guys know. Another thing, like let's say you are craving candy. If you go to like your regular drugstore like CVS, Walgreens, or anything like that, you will find gummies. So these are really good. However, you have to be careful with these. I would not recommend more than it says, which is like 9 pieces, because if you eat too many of these, forget it. I don't even gotta tell you what happens. I'm not playing. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Same goes for these next guys that I'm going to show you. I would not recommend more than 2. You guys have probably seen these before. This is like a little quick chocolate fix. Now, I wouldn't recommend these every day, but if you're craving it, just do it. This is 1. This is 2. And this one's actually one of my favorites. And there's another favorite that I have. Coconut. This is really good too. And those are usually the ones that I get just like when I'm craving them and I really, really want them. I go ahead and eat them. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend it as an everyday thing because it will slow down your weight loss process. Just because it contains like certain ingredients that are not too keto friendly. But if you want it and you're craving it, have it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'd rather have like one of those than go and like really be bad, you know? So those are some of my must-haves that I would say I always have in stock. As far as meats go, my way of thinking is like you can have any kind of meat. I know that they say organic is better, but I don't have that kind of money. If you do, go ahead, organic all your way through. I can't afford organic all the time, so I go ahead and just use regular. Like if I'm gonna do chicken breast, I'm gonna go and grab chicken breast. Not organic chicken breast, just regular chicken breast. Hamburger meat, I'm not gonna go with the organic. I'm gonna do regular hamburger meat. Let's say, what else do I normally cook? Like I just do, that's another thing. Like I keep it basic. I'm not gonna go and be like extravagant and do all these fancy things. I am a full-time employee, a full-time mom, a full-time wife. I got too many things on my plate to be like cooking all this crazy stuff. So I try to keep it simple. One day I'll make hamburger meat with like pato sauce. If you're not familiar with that, it's like this little yellow can that has a duck on it. It's called pato. Pato is duck. And I'll cook the meat. Once it's all cooked, I dump the pato sauce in there, and then I ground some cheese, put it in the oven, boom, taco shells. Then I could also make them like tostadas, like taco tostadas, like cheese tostadas, sorry, or cheese shells. So depending on how I'm feeling, I'll do that. I also make like buffalo wings. So I use red hot sauce, like the Red's hot sauce, buffalo sauce. And I'll put the chicken in the oven. And then once it's baked, I'll go ahead and take it out, melt some butter, and then put some red sauce in there. Mix that up, and then I'll toss them in there. Just toss them up, and then boom, dinner's ready. What else have I done? Jesus. Oh, I also make chicken crust pizza. I posted a video about that before. That's another one of my favorite go-tos, just because I'm such a pizza person that like I have to have it. So pizza is my thing. Chicken crust pizza. It's super good. Like it's kid approved. A lot of people love it, and I recommend it. If you haven't tried it, try it. You'll love it. Like lettuce tacos. I make cheese enchiladas with like just regular chicken breast. I boil it, put it in some green salsa. Like I usually make a homemade green salsa. Melt cheese, and then I'll put once the cheese is melted, I'll put the chicken in there. Once the chicken is cooked and everything, I put it in there and I roll them up, and then I put them again in the oven just for a little bit, just to get that little melt, and then I take them out and then I eat them. So good. I don't like to cook with almond flour too much just because of the carbs. Like I try to be like, I try to watch out for the carbs or whatever. Another way to track is going to be Carb Manager. That's a good app to use. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend counting carbs in the beginning, just because you're already overwhelmed in going into this journey, that if you start to like count the macros too soon, it could be discouraging. And I say this because, like I said, I've fallen off like 3 times and gotten back on. So at the beginning, my recommendation, this is just what's worked for me. If you're hungry, eat. If it's keto friendly, eat it. I mean, if you're hungry, you're hungry. Allow your body to adjust to this change. And then once you've adjusted, you can go ahead and start counting macros, aka carbs, calories, fats, proteins. Once you've accomplished that. Meanwhile, before you adjust to this change, I wouldn't recommend you do it, just because I didn't do it, because it's very discouraging. Like, it's hard. It makes it difficult. So make your life easier by just eating when you're hungry. If you're hungry, eat. Eventually, you will be at the next level, or like more advanced, if you will, and your body will not be as hungry. That's the beauty of keto. You're not as hungry. I also drink a lot of water. If you want, like, one of my things that I do is a lot of water. I drink a gallon of water a day. If I'm craving like a soda or anything like that, I usually get like Diet Dr. Pepper because it's the sweetest. To be honest, it's like super good. So I have a Diet Dr. Pepper. Usually my husband and I will just share one. Another thing is like I'll buy these sugar-free flavor packets and just get sparkling water and dump it in there. Boom, you have a soda. Craving orange soda? Boom, make it happen. Grape soda? Boom, make it happen. So it's all about finding things that is gonna make it easier for you. That's what I recommend. These are all must-haves in regards to vegetables. As you can see, I didn't mention a lot of them. I say that because I'm not a big vegetable fan. But you know what? Lettuce, I love. So I would recommend lettuce. Broccoli is okay. It's not bad. I'll have it. So get some broccoli. Sorry, cauliflower. You can make it into mashed cauliflower, which is really good. So cauliflower is good. That's a must-have. This is going to sound crazy, but radishes. Those, if you bake them with olive oil and some salt and pepper, become potatoes. Boom. Pff, mind blown. I would recommend that if you're craving potatoes. There's also jicama. A lot of people like to use that as for fries. That's also a replacement, but you have to be careful with those because of the carbs. But if you're not counting in the beginning and you know what, you're craving fries, go get them. Do it. Whatever works for you. So these are some of the things that have worked for me. If I can help someone else, that'll make my day or my night, since it's nighttime. That would make me happy. If I can help someone else achieve their goal, that's all that matters. It's been a very difficult journey for me, but 44 pounds later, here I am. I would say don't give up. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And these are 44 pounds without working out. Eventually, I do want to start working out. I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow or maybe just tonight. I'm thinking about doing just 30 minutes really quickly. Anywho, this is currently what's worked for me. And I think that if you were to purchase some of these things, it might make it a little easier. Like I said, keep it simple. Don't try to become a keto chef as you're starting keto. I would not recommend that. Buy some of the simple things and have them on hand for when you feel you need it. So those are just some of my tips. Like I said, I like to keep it simple. And I hope that it can help you. Simple makes it last a long time. Alrighty guys, well, I'm going to end this video here because I think it's already pretty long. If you have any questions or anything else you would like to know about keto, comment down below. And I will be here to help you and help me on this journey together. Thanks. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.